Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Business Every Day. Today, we're going to be talking about the 2021 Inventables X-Carve CNC machine. This will be my 3-month review of working with the X-Carve CNC. I can say that I have learned a whole lot about this device and how I've incorporated it in my shop, in my work process, and I'm going to give you some things that I absolutely love about this machine, as well as talking about some things that I wish I knew before I actually had purchased this machine. Like I said, it has been 3 months since having my X-Carve CNC. I've completed well over 100 different kinds of projects working with such a wide range of materials, and I think I have a pretty good idea of how this machine is going to complement my work process and how I'm going to create a business around the CNC machine. The first thing that I would like to say is that the X-Carve is not what I would consider a plug-and-play machine. There are plenty of projects on the Inventables website. There's a lot of files that you can download. None of the content available, in my experience, is ready to carve just after downloading. You have to adjust it to your machine, your material. You have to adjust your feed rate, your cut rate, your depths, all of the settings around your carve, along with the actual dimensions of the final product. A lot of times the files that you download are either too small or too large for the stock material that you are working with. So from the very get-go, it can be a little frustrating because you want to carve something super fast. As soon as you've spent 20 some hours assembling the CNC, you want to carve something. For me, it took a little while for me to fine-tune and adjust all of the different files that I just downloaded and thought would be really cool projects before I could actually carve them out successfully. One of the questions that I've been asked a lot on my YouTube channel is why I chose the X-Carve CNC. And the reason that I chose the X-Carve CNC were a couple of different reasons. The price point was something that was not the cheapest. It was also not the most expensive CNC that I could get out there. That was middle rung. I'm not looking for commercial grade, but I'm also not looking for entry-level grade. And so the price was right for me. The other huge consideration for me was the community around the machine. Now, there are other machines out there, now that I have experience with the CNC, that I probably would have gone with. But the community around the X-Carve is really amazing. There are Instagram pages dedicated to the X-Carve. There's tons of YouTube content. And so if you want to get started with something that is well-known, well-documented, and there's a large support system around the CNC, this is absolutely the machine for you. Durability and maintenance. What I have found is that the X-Carve is very durable. I have thrown a lot of different materials at this machine. I have cut things super fast outside of my comfortability to see what it would do. I have used a lot of different types of bits. I have accidentally broken bits. I have plunged the Z-axis right into my material unintentionally, and the machine still remains true. I have found that all of the components with the new 2021 upgrade are fairly robust. I've completed well over 100 carves, and I have not had any issue with things shearing, things coming loose. All the bolts are still tight and sound, and even my X, Y, and Z axis are staying plumb true and level to each other, even with a wide range of different materials. The maintenance on this machine for me has been fairly low, but I am consistent at every 50 carves, I am servicing this machine. I'm making sure that my belt tensions are correct. I am vacuuming out all of the belt ways, the gantry, everything per carve. I'm using the dust collection system as much as I possibly can, as well as using compressed air to blow things out and keeping the tracks, gears, and all the cogs free from debris to hopefully make everything run as smooth as possible. The dust collection system is not my favorite. I have worked with it on many different carves with many different kinds of material, and I would say it is 60% to 70% successful in sucking out all of the debris that's created by the carve. Don't get me wrong, when I'm carving, using the dust collection system is way better than not, but it is not as contained as I would like it to be in my little shop. And so when I go from carving to painting and finishing, there are a lot of dust particulates in the air. I have found that to be rather annoying. Something I've also been asked is my frustration to success rate. Not a very clear metric. But what I mean by that is the amount of frustration I've had per carve to the actual hit carve and things come out successfully. For me and what I've done with my X-Carve, I have experienced a huge change in my frustration to success rate. My first 50 or so carves, it was about a 50-50 whether or not that carve was going to come out successful the first time. A lot of my carves, I had to go through several iterations to either get the clampage correctly, to get the dust collection correct, to get the feed rates, the plunge rates, the spindle speed, to hone all those things in order to make a successful carve. Even though Inventables has what I would consider a fairly large inventory of projects that you can download directly from their website into Easel, I have found there's a lot of discrepancy and not a lot of information around the settings you should set your machine at to create a successful carve. I feel like I've spent more time researching what I should set my machine to than I have carving, which is a little annoying for me. Easel as a CNC software, I have found not terribly difficult to understand. There's a lot of helpful tutorials out there, and again, a very large community around helping you get it correct. Now, is it worth buying the pro version of Easel versus just going with the standard version of Easel? For me, I would say yes, because of the array of projects that I have a desire to do and the different kinds of materials and adjusting all of the settings on my X-Carve, the pro version is necessary. And so the expense of that I have been able to justify, and I don't feel that that's too inconvenient. Overall, I love my Inventables X-Carve CNC. It has been a wonderful journey over the last 3 months of figuring out all of its quirks and features and just how this thing operates and incorporating it into my life and my workflow and finding different fun ways to use it, to come up with fun projects and ask the question, can I make it, instead of just going out and buying it. Is the X-Carve the best CNC machine out there on the market? I am not a machinist professional to be able to say that. What I can say is I do feel like I've gotten my value out of the machine. I've been able to create projects that I've been able to sell thus far. Not yet pay for my machine, but I'm well on my way. I think if you are considering to learn how to use a CNC machine, the X-Carve is a wonderful place to start, mainly because of the community and the support system around it. It has been around for many years, and there's tons of resources that you can immediately apply to your machining process. To me, that holds a lot of value because then I don't have to get frustrated with the lack of information. Yes, there could be a lot of improvements in the instruction manual and the things that you get direct from Inventables, but there's enough people with these machines that you can figure out what you need to do without having to guess. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey as I have gone through this process over the last 3 months. I know I have certainly learned a lot about machining, about the X-Carve, about the Easel software, and how I will be incorporating this machine going forward. If you're looking for someone to recommend a CNC machine to you, I would recommend the X-Carve CNC. It is a fantastic place to start. It's probably not where you will end up if this is something that you pursue long term, but it is a great learning platform that has tons of support at a price point that I feel is reasonable, and you are getting a machine that is robust enough to handle such a wide range of abilities that it's going to be a while before you outgrow this machine. Thanks for tuning in. Keep safe, keep carving, and I'll catch you next time.